Well, he's been playing under that kind of pressure for some time. As soon as Lin Gaoyuan was knocked out by none other than Darko JORGIC. On this half of the draw, WANG Chuqin, the last Chinese man standing, with 63% of the fan vote. You can cast your fan vote at worldtabletennis.com for the WTT app. That 4-0, not just has he never lost a match, he's only dropped 2 games total in 4 encounters. That's an average of 0.5 games per match. Only one of which has been a best of 7. This will be the second time they've played a best of 7. And over the years, well, 3 of those 4 have been in recent times. 2021, 2022, and 2023. First time they played was a cadet challenge in 2013. In terms of confidence, remember, WANG Chuqin admitted it himself. It's been turbulent. Since the Olympic Games, he just has had a whole lot of surprise victories from the person standing across from him. From the Scandinavians to teammates.
First game, JORGIC to serve. Love all.
And of course, one in particular, 14-year-old from Iran, Benjamin Faraji. But it's Darko JORGIC to start it off. So let's talk about the players here. The backhand of JORGIC stands out.
Absolutely. One of the most beastly backhands in the game. Quite a backhand orientated player, Darko JORGIC, like Putsa, like Ovcharov in some ways as well with the serve, the backhand serve from the forehand side that he'll do.
Extra racket speed on this. It's not a big backswing at all. I think that's one of the reasons it's so effective, is because you just can't see it. You don't have enough time to really predict what's coming at you. Now, we talked a little bit about Darko JORGIC, a little bit more to that because we have plenty to say about WANG Chuqin. Darko's forehand, for me, has been really impressive throughout this event, and for me, quite a shining star.
I'd agree. I mean, we know how he takes it a little bit later than some, especially with the pickup, but he's been very reliable with the forehand counter.
Yeah, good in the fast play. Now, you'd have to imagine, I don't know what percentage, but somewhere upwards of 60% of this stadium right now would say they got their ticket because of WANG Chuqin. They're rooting for him. They've traveled here to see him. This is a man who respects everybody, fights incredibly hard, and right now needs the support. Think about it, the way the year started. Tomokazu's been incredible. As mentioned, back-to-back triple crowns. But the 2 standout men, the 2nd seed and the 1st seed, only one of those 2 is left, and you're looking, well, you were looking at him, the man with the headband on that says victory on the back.
It'll be interesting to see how WANG Chuqin can deal with this kind of pressure. I mean, we know he's always dealt with it. I mean, representing Team China alone, right? You're carrying more than 1 billion hearts behind you, but different here. The season-ending finale.
5-4.
Slowing it down just a little bit. Darko JORGIC, WANG Chuqin used to some faster timing out here. Very shallow on the table, that bounce, you could see. So the ball comes in quite differently.
4-6.
Now this is interesting for me. You might think in terms of confidence, okay, WANG Chuqin seems to have found his confidence. He's playing someone he's 4-0 against, but in Paris he was 8-0 against Truls Morgaard.
Yeah, you're never safe.
4-6.
That's what that is a grim reminder of. Good stretch on the backhand from JORGIC to get 2, but WANG Chuqin and the fast feet come right back.
He managed to make a nice angle with this one here through the fingers, but WANG getting back in position, playing the parallel. Unparalleled there from JORGIC.
Can you tell us what you mean when you say through the fingers?
Of course, I mean, I'll talk about it after this point. The fingers are so important. You know, when you play a backhand, you want to put bit of extra pressure with the thumb. When you play a forehand as a shakehander, you want to put a bit of extra pressure on the forefinger. Helps you absorb the spin coming in, stabilize the racket. But when you're not fully behind the ball, with the backhand especially, you have to flick through the fingers more to compensate for the lack of forearm you can use.
So all the details coming together. Extra spin on this as well. It's funny what you describe. A lot of people ask, do you change grip between forehand and backhand? You might think in a sport so fast, how could you possibly have time? But the answer is yes. And as you described, when you're playing a backhand, the thumb is an important factor. The forefinger or the pointer finger for the forehand. This is the shake hands grip, which has been the dominant grip for Team China now since the mid-90s, early 90s. Change was needed thanks to Sweden.
Yeah.
7-8.
Decisive receive there from Jorgic. He was comfortable to receive that. But the backhand, actually, the serve was drifting more towards the forehand. Read it well.
Left. 7-8.
Takes his chances here with a flat swat. If that comes down, we're all going to love it. A Trulsian forehand swat here. But the step around and the full stroke. I've called WANG Chuqin's forehand, just his game in general, dangerous because of the low trajectory. But that full stroke is tough to deal with.
Again, there you see it in full swing. It's just a stunning shot. How do you take pace away from WANG Chuqin?
This is another reminder that there are so many different knobs on this board here to turn, one of which is placement. There we go, a little bit slower, so pace, placement, into the middle, begs him to turn. Rotation, not just the direction or the axis of the ball, how much rotation is on it, the arc. Sets up a game point here. WANG Chuqin, if he takes this first game, for me, is going to have the confidence he's talked about. And Darko JORGIC will not have that wave to ride on in terms of keeping pressure on. Still possible, but that much more difficult considering their context and their history. Inside the table, WANG Chuqin with 2 big points there on serve, and the frustration. Darko JORGIC doesn't like the serve. The visibility. Interesting. We'll see if it becomes a conversation. He says, man, what can I do? Time will tell. Sean Coe calls it when he sees it. 11-9, game number 1 in a best of 7. After a 1-hour match, this one has only just begun. Banners that were flying high even when it wasn't his turn to play. WANG Chuqin. WANG Chuqin.
Second game, WANG Song, love all.
So back for game 2, the man who narrowly pulled out game 1, Hope, big head, Lionheart. Good receive here on the move back. Darko keeping some spin on, slowing the ball down.
Again, rather receiving it with the backhand, even though it's going into that forehand. It's a less expensive stroke. We talk about time, the ability to recover.
Now this is tough. In terms of the forehand stroke, Chinese equipment, the forehand rubber combined with WANG Chuqin's big forehand stroke, just means that ball is going to be really tough to control.
Yeah, it's the kind of rubber, the tacky rubber that, you know, actually Europeans are starting to try and use a little bit more. The hybrid rubbers, Jorgic's personal choice, a little bit tackier than rubbers we've seen before.
The technology behind table tennis, the equipment is fascinating. The amount of different varieties. People newer to the sport are like, wait, you mean it's like a car brand? I'm like, it's like a model of a make of a car. Counter exchange here, the quality on the forehand, but WANG Chuqin makes his way back into the table. Still he trails.
He's got off to a good start in both the first and this game, Jorgic.
Sweeping leg here as WANG Chuqin steps around the backhand corner. Time for a little towel break. Would have been cool to see an around the net shot there. You just sort of wonder, was it wide enough? I imagine it was, but it's such a high risk shot to play.
Yeah, I think it was on, but as you say, so high risk. Good shot selection from Jorgic to grease that ball. Great counter from WANG Chuqin.
And when you say grease, as in brush and spin?
Brush and spin to create that dwell. Off a wider serve, sometimes you'll see players let the ball drop a little bit more to be able to do that.
What?
3-4.
Did you understand that?
I didn't.
Okay.
We know how sometimes Jorgic struggles to get the ball out of the crossover because he is more of a backhand orientated player. Managing to pin it, WANG Chuqin.
Darko JORGIC, the taller of the two, will have the bigger crossover section, and as a player who's quite dominant on the backhand, will also prefer to use the backhand in front of the elbow. Short side, this lunge, the leap. It's very iconic of WANG Chuqin's game. Not so many other players do it just the way he does. I mean, from time to time you'd see Chuqin do it, Zhou Qihao, but it's not quite the same. This is his signature, and service-wise right now, WANG Chuqin successful with 16.2% better than his opponent.
Nice Chiquita there from Jorgic, giving WANG Chuqin a little bit of side spin to think about.
I like thinking about side spin. Something fun here. In a match, maybe not as much. Ooh. Incredible recovery from WANG Chuqin, the feeling. In Chinese Super League, we've seen him in an all-out snake battle. What Darko JORGIC brought here gets the net after heavy side topspin. The fact that WANG Chuqin is able to return this ball right here, with the control that he does, it's a snake battle.
Oh my goodness. It was an unbelievable hook shot from Jorgic. He just opened up the racket face, let the spin do its thing. WANG took great feeling to return the amount of feeling Jorgic put on. And look at this off the backhand serve.
Man, that confidence he talked about showing on the scoreboard. He was down from the start of this game, WANG Chuqin. Hitting the elbow well, WANG Chuqin.
It's interesting. It's not like Jorgic doesn't believe that he can do it. He's seen Trulls, Lintz, Shalbury do it. But WANG is in much better form right now. 7 of the last 8 points.
Oh, takes his chances. Would have been tough to stop on a dime. That's a tough shot to return. Incredible effort from WANG Chuqin. Look at this net recovery. To attack it A forehand flick, and Jorgic keeps cool under pressure. Quick to back off, not liking the serve. That's the sign. That's a sign of a player who might talk to the official, the umpire, in a bit, but it's 5 game points for WANG Chuqin.
Unbelievable.
2 points in a row. He's gotten behind the table quite a bit, quite quickly. And 2-0 wasn't enough for the second seed in the last men's singles semifinal. We'll see. That's how it started last time, except this one even closer. It was 6-3 last time. This is 9-5. Game 3 to follow. Conversation and hydration time. So while the end of the year has not been anyone but Lin Shadong's and hasn't been the best, the year started incredibly strong for WANG Chuqin. The Singapore smash. The first ever smash. He stood on top of the podium taking down the WANG Chuqin there. And the Saudi smash over the giant Slayer. Patrick Franziska, a triple crown, all 3 events at a smash, the first ever Saudi smash. It's been quite a year, turbulent recently, but incredible. And looking to end the year on a high note, WANG Chuqin. And he's got the fans behind him to do it.
Third game, Jockey serve, love all. Love 1.
So first point here for WANG Chuqin, a man who started this year strong and is looking to finish it strong. Oh, what an angle on this one. He's dangerous, no doubt about it. As Truls Morgaard said, when he's on, he's nearly unstoppable, no doubt the best in the world. Good length on this one, good answer on the receive. It hasn't been an easy riddle to solve.
Yeah, he was trying to return it with the backhand quite a lot, but then getting caught out. Beautiful shot there from Darko JORGIC. Good recovery as well there to get that forehand into play. It was an irregular transition to have to make.
Did you ever see China versus the world?
I did, the exhibition, yeah.
For those of you that didn't, China played the rest of the world, not just Asia versus Europe, China versus the rest of the world, including Japan and Korea, and China always won. Not even close. Just thinking, what will it take for the next generation? So 3 points apiece here. Just wondering what it's going to take. Europe, some real up-and-comers in the game. Oh yeah.
It almost seems like the timing has to be exactly right for it to happen. There's always strong players that come through, but you have to, has to be something like almost like an extraneous variable that can come into play.
Mercury in retrograde. I know what you're talking about. In some senses, maybe even just a group. Like in chess, you don't attack with just one piece. Or in life, I guess. You go in together, you cover each other. Waldner, Persson, they talk about that era. Oh, look at the timing on this. They would all train in the same club, the top players, many of them. Zoran Primorac. There was a lot of overlap in terms of where players would go. Right now in Germany, Saarbrücken, Darko JORGIC.
You have to be able to think outside the box, which the Swedish are so good at. That's perhaps why we've seen the players that have beat WANG Chuqin Scandinavians. Not sure.
You want to hear a secret?
Yeah.
There is no box.
I like it.
4 serving 6. Coming back in 2 in a row here, WANG Chuqin.
Wouldn't be a bad time for a timeout, would it?
Was thinking the same, looking down at the court just in case, in a best of 7. That squeak of fresh rubber. Darko JORGIC. Might have been the shoe that I heard. It was just timed with his hand on the rubber. Open table, second time this match. Darko JORGIC has played the wall to a forehand flick.
Can't blame WANG Chuqin for going in for this.
Plays it well, but it comes back just even better.
A nice combination from JORGIC. WANG Chuqin bites the bait. So much topspin on that serve.
And that, for me, felt like a taste of his own medicine in terms of where it came from. Just watch. I don't know, maybe I've been missing it before, but any frustration that might have been felt on the other side could be felt by WANG Chuqin here.
I felt the same.
Yeah. Serve right in the cave, back behind the head, in near the body. That one carries off the table. Another point for JORGIC. It's 5 game points to get his first game on the scoreboard here and follow in the footsteps of Tomokazu Harimoto. Beautiful exchange, this one. WANG Chuqin up for the racket, high rally.
Nice bit of respite for him. It was what? 4 or 5 points in a row there from JORGIC.
This one doesn't come back. WANG Chuqin gets a push from the baseline after a perfectly placed half-long ball to set up and steal the attack.
Says, don't give me that. Belts it. Going to do that topspin serve again, try and get his backhand into play. See?
Perfectly called, but it works out in the way of WANG Chuqin. Third towel break. Darko JORGIC with 2 game points left.
A shot from Wang there, that abbreviated stroke where the bat finishes so horizontal with the aftermotion. Visualization sometimes with some shots. Well, I guess all shots, but some shots more difficult than others.
You mean where you visualize, you picture it in your head and then it comes true?
You have to.
Right. What a rally it is. Darko JORGIC takes the game, the pace on the backhand, and he's on the scoreboard. Narrowly fought 11-8 after being up 10-5. So Darko JORGIC, the Seaman, gets his first game on the scoreboard. Both wings, forehand and backhand, crucial out here. And just another tough day at work for WANG Chuqin. The last standing Chinese man, the top seed, the world #1, and the battle continues. Game 4 of the men's singles semifinals to follow.
Sam njemu to zjebano poživio.
Imagine the Blue Man Group playing that. So the plot thickens here as Darko JORGIC takes the third game.
Big show there from WANG Chuqin. This is a huge game. The last one was as good as a must-win for JORGIC. Nobody beats WANG Chuqin from 3-0 down. But now what will happen?
I like when I hear the grunts to cover the middle, the physicality required. Again, core strength, the legs, much like a boxer, just constantly resetting to twist, turn. Employ whatever weaponry you've got in the moment. Deploy? Yeah, go ahead.
Deploy, employ, I'm not sure. Maybe both.
Maybe both, yeah. You could give a weapon a job if you needed to.
Yeah.
Just wouldn't depend on it for too much in terms of, like, cleanup. So the determination, you were starting to talk about WANG Chuqin vocalizing a little bit, maybe turning it up to the next level here to make sure that he wills himself through.
It's interesting because I think JORGIC likes that. He likes to be in those kind of matches where he's up against someone who's giving it back. But yeah, let's see what happens in this fourth game. WANG Chuqin again with the forehand. It's so tough, isn't it? You have to play one shot with the next in mind against WANG Chuqin. That serve that he does, how do you prevent him from getting that forehand in? You pushed it into basically wide backhand.
At this level, I think that's sometimes even an understatement. I think not just the next shot, but sometimes two shots after, planning out how it will unravel.
Quality push.
The first towel break here, WANG Chuqin making quite a statement. No problem there, despite the backhand serve. Receive game strong. WANG Chuqin well prepared. Full stroke forehand. Nice follow up from the baseline.
Seemed like there was quite a bit of topspin on the serve, but WANG managing to keep it tight with the forehand touch.
And this time around, some underspin to get a softer receive. Or a soft receive, I should say, but as you mentioned, touch before for WANG Chuqin. Ooh, surprise, surprise. Good elements of top spin to go with that.
The body language of JORGIC interesting there.
Yeah. Edge of the table here as he pulls back that right leg. Creates a little space for the forehand from the middle, JORGIC. Thinking of backhand serves, you know, we saw Tomokazu go to the backhand serve for simple serves. But Lin Shidong wasn't missing anything. But for Darko JORGIC, it's common because he's got such a strong backhand weighting. But many times, WANG Chuqin has picked the fight with the forehand in response to that backhand serve.
It's the best place to play it against JORGIC's backhand serve because he wants the third ball over the table with the backhand. If he receives a deep forehand, he then has to make that a regular transition, especially if he managed to find his crossover, which can be difficult.
Testing the footwork, sliding around. WANG Chuqin covering the ground, keeping it cool. Just leans in a little bit there, but with the wide stance, ready to twist and turn. 3 points in front now, Lionheart. Shallow, slow spin. A little fortune here. WANG Chuqin raising his hand in apology on a few occasions. But now ready for the next point. It's Darko JORGIC with the uphill climb. Good bounce on that top side spin. A kick you'd imagine to jump out and catch the edge of the racket.
Interesting. We see most of the backhand serve short, long to the backhand. It's a new thing from JORGIC.
9-7.
This time a bit more middle of the table. Still half long, but enough to get the opening attack. Chiquita comes in, heavy side spin. That was Hayata-like.
It was, that elbow so high.
Yeah.
Did well there because JORGIC got that extra ball back that many wouldn't have expected. WANG had his eye on one thing and one thing only.
3 game points now for WANG Chuqin to take a 3-1 lead to put the Chinese flag into the final. Quality does it. He secures game number 4, 3-1. He's 1 game away. Darko JORGIC, the incline gets steeper and steeper, but it is not over yet. We saw Bernie Such win from 0-3 down 3 in a row. Will Darko JORGIC do the same from 1-3 down, win the next 2? 11-7, a strong showing from the top seed and world number 1. Darko JORGIC down 1-3 in games to start off with the serves. We've seen some comebacks today.
1 love.
Against the world number 1 when he's in form. Tall order. Nothing's impossible.
Left. 1 love.
And already having beaten a Team China player, he's got that confidence as well from that. So he's still in this JORGIC, definitely.
Slow, heavy spin. That ball was loaded, locked and loaded. A little bit late on that one, youngster. Ah, there it is. Little fortune along the way, but Darko managing to get the backhand inside the table.
Yeah, misled WANG Chuqin there with the foremotion, bringing the body to the right quickly before he then breaks the wrist.
Love 3.
That said, still playing it safe cross court. Taking his chances. If I'm Coach Andrea Oystershek-Ur, I'm shaking my head yes. You're not always going to make it, but the decision making, you have to take the right shots.
4-1.
And JORGIC, sometimes we've seen him let it all out, blow some smoke, but he was keeping his head held high. Good body language from the Slovenian.
Gets it back the first several times, but that last one just too hot to handle. WANG Chuqin bringing the heat.
Backhand cross table, opens the table, and then bringing back memories from the Singapore smash, that devastating shot against WANG Chuqin in the men's singles final.
Vaya, presento. Omiyage, souvenir. That serve is so close to the baseline at the point of contact. WANG Chuqin, nice and tight, follows up with the third ball.
Wow, the kick on that serve took the ball way wider than what it looked like it would have.
It almost looked like he was inviting an around the net attempt here. Calmly watching on Wang Hao. Oh, can't get much more confident and aggressive on a serve received than this. This one a little bit more deep to that forehand. Inside the table. One trick that his predecessor and role model, Ma Long, could just make the back of the table disappear in the receive game. Good answer a few times, but Jorgic here not getting quite the lift he wanted on that. WANG Chuqin right back in the game.
Just a different approach that he has, and you can see it straight from his serve. He stood around the side of the table as he serves the ball. You have to kind of be able to do that. You can't wait for something. If you want to, as you say, make the back edge of the table seem sawed off.
Much needed point here to save the timeout. Darko JORGIC. I mean, it's unlikely he would have called one at 6-6 anyway. Probably would have happened already. Coaches often, players as well, like to call a timeout while they still have the lead, if they ever do. Feeling like you're still in control. Oh, can't do much better than this. That backhand. The quality of the receive was world class.
Beautiful brush up, as deep as can be, and then Jorgic was there, ready and waiting.
Oh, short side after all that? Darko set up camp on the other side of the table, and I was with him. I was there roasting marshmallows. Get ready. Just a little bit of height, and that's enough. That's some big head play right there, some big brain from Dato. Almost sounded like it was right out of Street Fighter here. Puts that extra effort in. And it all pays off from down low, fans up with the forehand. Tough to control.
Still no timeout from Jorgic.
Still in front by one on the receive. 7 serving 8.
That's serious play.
I could feel the curiosity, how it feels a bit peculiar, if not now then when type of feeling in terms of the timeout. Back against the ropes, WANG Chuqin is 3 points away from joining Tomokazu. Good coverage, gets the racket back up. I thought he was spent.
Seemed like there's something about the kick of the ball on the table that ruffled the feathers of Jorgic. How did WANG Chuqin get that out of the middle, man?
His spin, I think it's just simply the opponent's spin. You and I have played on this table, it's incredible. 6 of the last 8 for WANG Chuqin. Short side after a bit of side spin in the receive game. What looked like a strawberry sets up the follow-up attack, and he only needs one more. At least 4 in a row to my memory from 6-8 down.
Yeah.
Play smart, he says. Dato, use that Dato now. And he does the the parallel. He will join Tomokazu Harimoto in the final tomorrow. Darko JORGIC put up a wonderful fight. And while he was leading the majority of this game, WANG Chuqin, the world #1, has done better than any Chinese player here. He has lived up to the hype so far. He has held up his half of the draw. And even with the Shandong show going as strong as it had been, he is the last Chinese man standing. Here's a look at what happened in the first session today. 4-3, Wang Manyu in Game 7. Chen Xingtong 4-0 over Wang Yidi, 4-3 in an epic battle for Tomokazu over Lin Shandong, and WANG Chuqin 4-1 over Slovenia's Darko JORGIC. So we'll join you shortly at 8 p.m. local time. That's 4 minutes from now. We look forward to having you back real soon. Matane. Bye-bye.